trying to answer with our surveillance is, why would we keep buying it if we don't know it works? So we're hoping that these activities will help answer that question. In closing, I just want to leave you with our vision. Our vision at the Healthy Community Design Initiative at CDC is to see the communities of our nation developed in a way, designed in a way, that makes the healthy, safe, and active choice the easy choice for everyone. And CDC is also looking to support these efforts through the expertise and evidence that really is only found in the field of public health. I appreciate your time. And now I have the pleasure of introducing from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Mr. Lee Sobel, Real Estate Development and Finance Analyst.
Thank you all very much for coming today. I'd like to thank the Congressman for putting on the conference and inviting me to Louisville. My name is Lee Sobel, and I believe our time is short on the presentation, so I will get right to it. Today, what I wanted to do was give everybody an overview of a number of things. One, our Smart Growth Program at the EPA, the Partnership for Sustainable Communities, the EPA's new Office for Sustainable Community, the New Partners for Smart Growth Conference, our regional partner activities and opportunities, and as well as the technical assistance that we are already beginning to provide to the Louisville area. Our office has done a number of things over the years. We don't officially operate as the Smart Growth Office or Smart Growth Program. We're the Division for the Economy, Community, and Development. What we've done is create the Smart Growth Network. We've also created and sponsored the New Partners for Smart Growth Conference each year. We also fund smartgrowth.org, which is a free site to join the Smart Growth Network if you're interested in participating. And we've had the National Awards for Smart Growth for the past 8 years. In terms of how we do our work, we're an agency, a policy shop of the willing. By that we mean Smart Growth is nothing that the EPA regulates or mandates or prescribes. We're in the Administrator's Office of Policy. We do our work primarily through outreach and education, through research and policy work, as well as technical assistance, and I'll explain a little bit more of that at the end of the program. We work on a number of levels when it comes to changing the rules, both at the federal level. Internally, we've worked with the Office of Air, and we've worked with the Office of Water, changing stormwater rules and permit language to incorporate smart growth best management practices and low-impact developments. We've also worked with NOAA on their Coastal Communities Project and USDA on their rural smart growth work. In addition to that, I'd like to also talk about the Partnership for Sustainable Communities. The mission here was to meet the President's challenge for all agencies to work together and encourage and fully assist rural, suburban, and urban areas to build sustainable communities and to make sustainable communities the leading style of development in the USA. That's a bold statement. And the partnership itself was focused to meet this challenge and ensure federal investments and policies and actions don't subsidize sprawl instead of supporting development in more efficient and sustainable locations. And I'm sure we'll be talking more about that today as we go on, as well as the guiding principles. The Partnership for Sustainable Communities operates and will achieve its goals and mission through these 6 principles, which we're going to talk about a lot in depth today. So I'm not going to spend time reading the principles right now, but it's important to know that all 3 agencies, DOT, HUD, and EPA, have embraced these principles, as well as the White House, both itself and through its Green Council. And of course, obviously, the partnership has been fully endorsed of the partnership, its challenge, and the problem, as I just mentioned. To date, the partnership has done a number of things. The 3 agency heads have all gone on a national tour, including with participation from the White House. They've looked at projects in cities such as Denver and Kansas City and Chicago. We've done a number of public speaking. HUD has now changed its brownfield policies with regard to mortgage lending for mixed-use housing at mixed-use sites on brownfields. With respect to the EPA, the administrator has broadened its policies for the Office of Air and Urban Waters Initiatives and has started a pilot project in Chicago measuring stormwater effects and better land management approaches for runoff. And then across the spectrum of the EPA, we have a growing environmental justice mission to actually help foster sustainable communities. With the Office of Air itself, we're doing work in Denver regarding smart growth and land use policies for SIPs. In the Brownfields program, I believe Krista mentioned our pilot project for sustainable communities had HUD and DOT participation both in reviewing locations as well as helping criteria for picking sites. And with the smart growth program itself, our office now manages and represents the EPA in the partnership program. And our smart growth implementation assistance is now essentially a partnership technical assistance, and I'll be talking to you about that towards the end, as I mentioned before. In addition to that, the office, well, actually, my division has been moved. We will soon be an office itself, the Office of Sustainable Communities. And in fact, what I wanted to focus on are the 3 points at the bottom. Both EPA and DOT have helped with HUD in the regional planning grants. EPA and HUD have worked with DOT's Tiger Grant project, and HUD and DOT are reviewing EPA's Brownfield grants. And then HUD and DOT are also starting their own equivalent sustainable community offices. Just a quick plug, there's so many of you here. I don't know if you've ever been to a Smart Growth conference or if you were in Seattle or planning to go. This year we had over 1,800 attendees. 2 weeks ago in Seattle, it was the most number of attendees we've ever had. Also, Secretaries Donovan and LaHood also spoke live. Administrator Jackson was there by video. It was a tremendous event. I just want to plug also next year there's brochures for our Smart Growth Conference in Charlotte, which is the second largest banking center in the country. So much of the conference, and we're looking at separate tracks for lots of financing, both public and private, with regard to implementation. At the regional level, our office is facilitating information exchanges and interagency coordination to make sure our policies and our goals actually are the same and we speak with the same message. And we're creating a work group to direct regional implementation. With regard to partnerships in the regions, we're also having mini partnerships where each HUD office or DOT office and EPA office will have a sustainable community office, and those mini partnerships at the regional level will work together in conjunction with the agencies. In addition to that, we're doing a lot of work with regard to the Brownfield pilots and the state revolving funds. Some of our challenges this year include addressing more than the 300 recommendations we've received from around the country regarding how the partnership will work and what its steps will be to achieve its goals. We're also aligning our funding and our money to get it out the door, and we're building regional capacity. And then I just quickly wanted to touch on the technical assistance that the partnership is doing in Louisville. These brochures that you see in the slide are actually on the back at the EPA table if they're not already gone. But we're beginning to work with Louisville's Division of Planning and Design Services to help implement some of their projects and goals in their Cornerstone 2020 project, both through their centers concept as well as some public education on town centers and retrofitting the suburbs, as well as addressing the issues of affordable housing and access and mobility. And we can talk a little bit about more. We'd obviously love to have CDC's participation. And that's it. I just wanted to thank you very much for your time about what we're doing. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Gary Rohrbacher from the University of Kentucky.